How do you typically handle conflict? Do you engage or walk away? While walking away may seem like the better alternative because you avoid escalating the argument into something damaging or violent, avoiding disagreements altogether could seriously hurt your partner and your relationship with them. Hi, I'm Michael Clark with the Ananias Foundation. In this video, we're going to talk about giving someone the silent treatment, also called stonewalling. We'll cover what stonewalling is and what it's not. We'll cover how it hurts our relationships, why we might do it, and how to stop if this is a pattern we've fallen into. If you want to stop causing harm in your relationships, you're on the right path. This is Journey of Change, a video series to help you become the safe, loving partner you were meant to be. Many people are surprised to learn that avoiding a conflict can be just as damaging as engaging in it. In fact, giving someone the silent treatment or stonewalling can be a form of emotional abuse. I'm guessing that most people who stonewall don't think of themselves as abusive. If this describes you, I encourage you to continue watching this video to learn what stonewalling is, how it can hurt our relationships, and most importantly, how to stop. Stonewalling is when someone disengages from their partner and becomes emotionally unavailable. It's like a stone wall has been built or put between them and their partner, which is where stonewalling gets its name. A person can stonewall by physically leaving the scene, but they can also do it by just sitting silently without responding to the other person. If we are uncooperative or shut down for days or weeks at a time, it's stonewalling. Another form of stonewalling happens if we dismiss everything the other person says as boring or unreasonable or unimportant. And then we use that as our reason to not talk about an important issue. What all of these have in common is we're avoiding a conversation or refusing to solve a problem by making ourselves unavailable. If you've viewed other videos on this channel, you know I often talk about taking a timeout during a conflict. Timeouts are different than stonewalling. Timeouts include telling our partner that we need a little time to calm down, say 45 minutes to an hour. Then we take that time to allow our emotions to settle, but we go back and re-engage in the conversation. We listen to our partner and we work with them to solve the problem. With stonewalling, we just leave or we shut down, and we don't go back in a reasonable time. We don't re-engage, listen, or work with our partner to address the issue. While it's not my intention to shame anyone who has used stonewalling, I think it's helpful to understand how that action can affect our partner and our relationship. Often, people whose partners stonewall them will feel angry, hurt, abandoned, and rejected. Sometimes they'll escalate the conflict in an attempt to engage the stonewaller in conversation. They do this because they're trying to feel heard. If we're the person that's stonewalling, it's easy to misinterpret our partner's escalation or their erratic behavior as proof that avoiding the conflict was our best move. Now, while our partners are responsible for how they respond to conflict, we would do well to realize that we may be contributing significantly to their reaction. And we'd miss the fact that we have the power to reduce those conflicts by changing our actions. Over time, our significant other may become more and more frustrated with always having to give in without being heard. It's not uncommon for partners to begin to doubt their self-worth or think that they are going crazy. Feelings of worthlessness, powerlessness, and hopelessness can leave them depressed as the stonewaller continues to shut them out. Relationship expert John Gottman identified stonewalling as one of the 4 most destructive habits we can do in our relationships. In fact, he says that when people stonewall, it usually foretells that that relationship will fail. Let's look at why we use stonewalling, because understanding our motivation can help us change. Unintentional stonewalling may be an immature, bad habit left over from our childhood. Maybe we saw our parents using it, so it seems like a natural thing to do. It could be that it was a way that we protected ourselves, or we got attention, or expressed anger. However, continuing that pattern in our adult relationships will not serve us well. Another possible reason for using stonewalling is because we feel inadequate about our ability to communicate. We're afraid that we'll say the wrong thing or make things worse because, hey, maybe we've done that in the past when we spoke up. Shutting down may feel like a safer alternative. Stonewalling is often a defense mechanism that people use when they're feeling overwhelmed by their negative emotions, like fear or shame. We try to control the situation and avoid our uncomfortable feelings by steering clear of the conflict. While this can be a temporary fix, it creates more conflict and uncomfortable feelings for us to deal with later. While a lot of stonewallers are not intending to harm anyone, there's also intentional stonewalling. Intentional stonewalling is when we use our non-response as a dirty fighting tactic to get our way. We may know that withdrawing and withholding our affection from our partner will get them to give in. Again, it might work in a given situation, but it's tremendously damaging over the long term and will likely destroy our relationship with that person. So what can you do to stop stonewalling if you realize you've been guilty of doing this in the past? The first step is to recognize it as a bad and harmful habit. Then commit to changing it. It's taking responsibility for our stonewalling behavior, regardless of what our partner is doing. If you're not confident with your communication skills, work to improve them. Every skill has to be learned sometime. And all of us are capable of improving. You could read books about communication, check out websites, or listen to podcasts on the subject. One communication skill that I think you'll find particularly helpful is active listening. So check that out if you're not familiar with it. A second thing that you can do is to work to look past the emotions and words your partner is saying and try to identify their underlying needs. Remember, your partner being upset or lobbing verbal attacks your way is quite often not about you. It's about them. When you start to feel frustrated and angry, try using calming techniques. Then, when you're feeling more peaceful, push yourself to go back to the conversation. Self-soothing keeps those powerful negative emotions from hijacking our behavior. A final tip is to go deeper. Ask yourself, what's so scary about conflict for me? Once we realize we're reacting to past hurts or exaggerated fears, we can often free ourselves from the effect those distorted thoughts have on us. I'd like to add that working with a counselor can be particularly helpful in identifying and helping heal these core issues behind stonewalling. I'm Michael Clark with the Ananias Foundation, and I hope you found this discussion about stonewalling helpful. Take care, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks for joining me today. I'm honored to be on this journey of change with you, and I hope I've helped you in some way. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. We'd love to hear from you. Also, be sure to hit the like button, share this with others who might find it helpful, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our future videos. For more resources, head to our website, ananiasfoundation.org. Until next time, take care and remember, change is possible.